Welcome to Social Studies Samurai. In this video, we'll show you how to easily create a content-rich class, club, or professional website or student portfolios using Google Sites. We'll show you how Google Drive apps integrate with Google Sites to create a media-rich learning space. So, let's get started. Now, the purpose of this video is to show you how to quickly set up a Google site that is standardized and consistent and looks more professional. You should have a plan and you should have a purpose. Now, Google Classroom users know that Google Classroom doesn't allow you to share much with parents and guardians or the public. Google Sites does, so it's great for student voice and authentic audience. So let's think of some other purposes to use sites, such as student portfolios for either your class throughout the year or maybe all of their classes through their educational journey. How about project-based learning, such as the PYP exhibition or the MYP personal project? How about a club website where even you and your students can collaborate to build the website together? How about your teacher portfolio where you can share your educational philosophy, your resume, student work, and the like? How about a professional learning blog or a reading blog where you can share your professional thinking with people publicly? Maybe you volunteer for a professional organization, or maybe your school has an event where you can publicize this from the website and include things like Twitter feeds and other media. If you like this sample, we'll show you how in the description that you can access and make a copy of this. Now, what I mean by consistency is when students go to my different courses that I teach, everything has the same look and the same feel. This is good for me as a teacher because it looks more professional. So you can see each page in my site looks the same. Now, what I like to do is have a planning template. And in the description, I'll have a copy of this that you can use for yourself or maybe even for your students. It's pretty basic, but it is helpful. You might want to do this on paper for your own site. But with my template, I can write down my look and feel, get my thinking down, and then I can have my links and my text. I can type it in a doc and simply copy and paste it later on. And of course, I have a little spot for ideas for development that I want to do later. So, how do we do this? The fastest way to access sites is to go to your Omnibox in a new tab when you're logged into your account and type sites.new, hit enter. This will bring you to a new site, so that means you're going to have to move it into a file. If you want, you can click here and visit the template gallery, which will show you in a moment. Another option is when you're logged into your account, go to the apps launcher, go straight down to sites, and tap on this. You can see the sites that you've already made, or you can go up to the template gallery, and you can scroll down and choose a template already made by Google, and go in and modify it. Now again, if you choose this route, you're going to have to move your site into the folder that you prefer. If you want to start with your site in a specific folder, then simply go to your apps launcher, go to Drive, and then choose the folder where you want it to be. Now I've made a folder called Class Website, so I'm going to go up to New, I'm going to click More, and then go down and choose Sites, and I'm going to start building my site from here after I click Create. So you get to this page, and when you begin, you might want to have a look at the Themes tab. There are only 6 themes to choose from. I want to create my own look and feel, so I'm not going to use themes, so I'll go back here. I'm going to create my title, give my site a title name, and if I tap in the site title, it's automatically going to load there. I'm not going to worry about images and things like that because I want to set my site up first. This is a good time to add my footer, so I mouse over the bottom, click Add Footer, and I'm just going to type in what I want my footer to be, tap out, and this will appear across all pages in my website. Now, most of the pages in my website I want to look the same, but my landing page, this first page, is going to be a bit different because I'm going to introduce myself. So under the Insert tab, I'm going to go down to Layouts, and I'm going to simply tap the one that I like. And here I'm going to come back later and edit text and images and maybe even put an introduction video in there. Let's begin to add pages so that it's consistent across my website. So I'm going to go to my Pages tab. I tap that, and now I can start adding pages, and this is where I will work with my page navigation. I'm going to go down to my plus button. If I mouse over it, see that you can add a link to an external website, but I want to create my own site, so I'm going to tap New Page, and I'm going to give my first page a title, which is my first class that I teach. I'm going to click Done. Now what I want to do with this is actually make this standardized with all of my other classes. So I'm going to go back to Insert, and I like to have a bit of an introduction. So I'm going to tap Layouts, and I'm going to come back and edit this a little bit later with an introduction to the course and a little bit of text. I'm also going to add another layout below that. I like these 4 different layouts because generally we have maybe 4 to 6 units in a class all year. I'm going to tap that and simply write Unit 1, Unit 2, 3, and 4. I'm also going to add a divider. And that divider comes under this because I might want to have some kind of course introduction activity right here on the course landing page, which is within my website. Now, I want my title to stand out a little bit more, so I'm going to tap in, I'm going to bold it, and because I don't want it to take up too much real estate on my page, I'm going to click these little blue dots, click and drag those, and now long titles are going to be spread out a little bit more. Maybe you also here want to put an image in and you want to cite it. So I'm going to go back to Insert, and I'm going to choose Text Box. I'll tap that, and it shows up somewhere in your page. I'm going to type image source. I'm going to grab my text box from the middle, and I'm going to drop it in there. And so now you can see I've got my image source. I'm going to put that in the middle, and later on, whatever image I choose to put in the background, I can just go in and put my citation right there and show the kids, students, that I'm academically honest. So now what we want to do, since our page is already set up in a way that I kind of like, I'm going to go back to Pages, and I'm going to make copies of this. Now in new Google Sites, you cannot copy an entire page with the subpages. So I'm going to set up all my other class pages now. I do that by mousing over and tapping on my ellipses, and I'm going to choose Duplicate Page. I'm going to give it a title, click Done. Now notice here that the name doesn't change. So I'm going to have to go in and I'm going to have to change that. You will have to do that for all of your pages, but note it changes here in your navigation. Now I'll do that for the rest of my classes. Now again, keep in mind, you're going to have to change the titles within the page, each individual page. Now, if you want to add another page, kind of like academic honesty or academic skills, simply just tap New Page, click Done. But this shows up at the bottom, and I don't really want it there. So all I have to do is click and drag it and put it where I think is a good space for that page. I want to stay consistent, so I'm going to highlight and bold that, and I'm going to make my title the same as the other pages. So now I have my site set up. You'll notice my homepage does have a little bit of a different look and feel, as well as my academic studies or academic skills page, but all of my class pages have the exact same setup. So if I teach 2 different classes to a student, they get the same look and feel, and my site looks a little bit more professional. So now I want to set up sub-pages, units in my class. So I'm going to go back to my ellipses, and I'm going to tap, and I'm going to go down to Add Sub-Page. And I'm going to, for now, just call this Unit 1. You might have a better title. I have nothing in here. So I like to be consistent, so I'm going to go back to my Insert tab, and I'm going to choose a layout, and this is going to be an introduction to the unit. I'm also going to add a divider, because underneath this is where I'm going to put all of my class activities. So now I'm going back to Pages, and because I have my Unit 1 subpage, you can see here, now I have a drop-down menu. If I don't want to use a drop-down menu, I can simply tap on my ellipses again and choose Hide from Navigation, and you see that it's gone, forcing students to go to my main landing page for that class. And what I can do is Unit 1, highlight that, go to Insert Link and tap Unit 1. Click Apply, and now when I view it, the link to Unit 1 is going to be here, and it's hidden from my navigation. If I want it to be a drop-down menu, all I do is go back to my ellipses and click Show in Navigation. Now what I want to do is make copies of this because I have my template set up for my subpage, and I'm just simply going to do the same thing. I'm going to click my ellipses, and I'm going to choose Duplicate Page. I'm going to give it the title, Unit 2, and now you can see that it's dropped in here. I'm going to do that for all of my other pages. Now remember, I've made my different units, but I do have to go back in and change the title and be consistent with the look and the feel. If I tap on my down arrow, I can collapse my pages menu here and then start working on my other pages. So let's do the same thing. I've already got my units set up here, so I'm going to simply tap my ellipse. I'm going to choose Duplicate Page, and I'm going to call it Unit 1. Click Done, and I'm going to click this and I'm going to drag it down under Ancient World History. And if I drag it and drop it on top, you can see now that it is a sub-page. I'm going to change the title of the page, but keeping in mind that everything is consistent. Now I can go in, simply click Duplicate Page, click Done, make my change to the title, and do this for all my classes. I'm going to do that now. So now that you can see in about 10 or 15 minutes, I've got all of my classes set up, and as an example, my World Prehistory page, I've linked all of these units here, and I'm going to put some images in to make it look good. But again, all of my other classes are very consistent with my units and of course my specific classes. So now I can start adding content and add to my look and feel. If I feel like this is too much to look at, I just have to tap on my shark tooth arrows here, and then I can start working with one page. If I'm working on a page and I don't want students to see it, I simply go to my ellipses, my three dots again, and I choose Hide from Navigation. And that means they're not going to see it. So now I want to stylize my pages. And here's where I've got my planning document, and my banner is going to be this old books kind of image. So I'm going to tap on my link, choose Copy Link, and go back to my site. And I'm going to mouse over the banner, and I'm going to choose Change Image. Now I can upload from my desktop or select an image. And I'm going to do that, and I could do something that Google provides, like their background. I could get something from Drive, but I'm going to choose a URL because I have the image that I like. If the link works, there you go. Click Select, and now my background is Human Stories, and it's got those old books that I like. I want to put that here too, just to add a little more consistency. I'm going to click the plus button, and again, you can upload or select image, but here I'm going to choose by URL again. I'm going to use the exact same image, and now I'm going to go back to my planning document. I'm going to choose my citation, which I've already made. I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to paste that in. And so now that's looking a little bit better. I'm going back to my planning document, and I'm going to my first tab, my home page. I'm going to copy my text, and I'm going to add my title. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to copy the text that I want to appear there, and I'm going to tap in the little text box, and I'm going to paste it in, and it's automatically formatted for me. You can put other things in here if you want, maybe a video introduction, etc. But I want to see how that looks. So I'm going to go up here to my preview button, and I'm going to tap it, and it's going to show me what it looks like on the web. But also, if I go down here, I can see what it's going to look like on a smartphone, on a tablet, and back to my computer. Now remember, this is not published yet, so nobody can see it. I'm going to tap out, and I can go back to my editing. So now I'm going to start working on my first page. So I'm going to tap on it. I got my units here, but let's start with the landing page. I just go back to my planning document, and I already have my information. So all I'm going to do is choose the text that I want. Same thing, I'm going to paste it in, paste my text, and choose what I want with my units. So now I'm going to do the same thing and add content, and I'm going to link units, and I'm going to put an image or maybe even a video in here. So I've got my landing page for my first course set up with links to all of my units, but I want to put like a pre-course quiz in here. I'm going to do that by inserting a button. So in my Insert tab, if you just choose Button, all I have to do is type the name of the quiz and put a link to a Google form in this case, and click Insert. Now it goes down here, but I'm going to click that and I'm going to drag it and I'm going to drop it just under that image, and it gives nice alignment. And now what I'm going to do is tap it slowly twice, and I'm going to click Copy. And I'm going to go back to all my pages. Yes, it's a pain, but all I have to do is click Paste and then drag it. And if I tap it slowly twice, I can edit. And then for each course, I can change the Google form. So that fix for my button didn't really take too long. And you can, of course, do this for all your units if you would like. Now, for a course, you probably want to add the course syllabus. So there's different ways to do this. Maybe you want to simply just add some text, maybe bold it so it stands out, highlight it, click bold, and then if you've got your syllabus on a Google Doc, simply insert link, click apply, and when students tap on that, it'll open up a Google Doc. Another way you could do it is to simply go to a place where you want it to appear on the course website, go up to your Insert tab and scroll down, and since this is a Google Doc, I'm going to tap Docs, and my most recent docs will appear, but I could also do a search if I want. But I'm just going to tap on that, I click Insert, and that's going to go in the bottom, and I can change the size and the height and that kind of thing. Really changes the appearance. I go up to Preview, and let's have a look at what this looks like on the web. Now maybe I want to put a title here that says Course Syllabus, but within it, students can scroll through and look at that Google Doc for a quick snapshot of what the course is all about. And in the exact same way, you can add other things like Google Slides, forms, charts, placeholders, YouTube videos. Play around with that, have a look at the things you can insert, and really build a good-looking site. Now here's one little trick. If you want to add something really quick without clicking too much, you can literally just double-click anywhere, and then you can choose to insert whatever material that you want. And finally, when you're ready to go, you want to publish your site. So you're going to go up to the Publish tab, tap that, you're going to give your site name, and if it's a good site, you'll see a little check mark. Nobody else in your domain has done it. This is where you can also manage the settings so it's public on the web or viewable only in your domain. Go down to Links and Change and take from restricted to anyone with the link. Make sure you click Done, and then it's public on the web. And that's it. So have fun building your site. In another video, we'll show you some more advanced things. Thank you for watching the video. If you are a student or a teacher of subjects like history, geography, politics, and economics, you can find more resources on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and on the web at socialstudiessamurai.com. I hope to see you again.